Hi, Writing 101 class. Okay, your very first essay is called Your Life Colors. And on the website and on your email, I've given you the spot to go to do your life colors. And I have done mine, and I have written my life colors essay. And so first thing I'm going to do for you, and what I want you to do when you do yours, is you're going to give us your life colors. So on my essay, I have Sarah's life colors, and I've copied and pasted this directly from the website after I took the little life colors quiz. So here's what it says about me. It says, you scored mainly in the sky fire quadrant. This yellow quadrant highlights the fire sign of your personality and your tendency to blaze across the sky like a comet, taking new ideas and concepts and trying to push them into action. You're going to think I've been pushing you a little bit too as the semester goes along, no doubt. You may well have a vivid imagination and enjoy constantly dreaming up new things to do. Because of your fire sign, you will probably push some of these ideas into action before you and others are actually ready. You may well be a persuasive person when discussing issues you passionately believe in. In these situations, many people may well be influenced by your apparent confidence. People who map into this quadrant like to connect the future to the present. Your mind may constantly be exploring possibilities concerning where you are going and what you might do with your life. However, there are times when you could become a little bit over-enthusiastic and make decisions before you have thoroughly thought about the ramifications. If anything, your mind might be focused on too many ideas at once. This may result in fewer successes, mainly because of your desire to get into action before you have completely done your homework. For you, there are unlikely to be too many problems. Of all the signs, yours describes someone who can turn a problem into an opportunity. Failure is unlikely to disturb you too much as you have a knack of being able to rebound from adversity. Okay, so that's what my life sign test said about me. And so now my job is to write an essay that convinces you that this is pretty accurate for what I am by telling you a story or giving you some ideas about myself that show you how my life sign and what I do in my life actually match up together. The first thing I've done is I've picked a title, and my title is called Sarah's Off on a Turnaround. Now this is the name of a famous song. Sarah's Off on a Turnaround was done by Oates and Hall in 1975 on their album, album like in a record, you know, one of those round things that goes round and round, a record called Abandoned Luncheonette. And a turnaround is actually an airline stewardess who goes on a plane and flies somewhere and then turns back around and comes back. And, you know, that's sort of me. Sarah's off on a turnaround. That's what they used to say about me when I was a little bit younger. So that's how I named my essay. So, in the first grade, I lost 2 toes. Yes, toes. The big toe and the one next to it. They sewed them back on later. Here's how it happened. Back in the old days, before bike helmets, car seats, and lawyers, we had recess where kids went out and played. We played kickball and tug of war and jumped rope. The boys pulled the girls' hair, and the girls gave the boys cooties, and the teachers, roughly 1 to every 30 students or so, sat on a bench and graded papers or just looked out the window of the classroom to make sure we weren't getting into too much trouble or having too much fun. We had round metal monkey bars and heavy splintered wooden seesaws with rusted iron handles and bolts on the bottom. And I'm going to show you actually a picture, if you can come up, Tremia, and show a picture of the old-timey monkey bars. Now, you don't see too many of these anymore because they're a liability, right? Legal problem and all. But this is a picture of old-timey monkey bars to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. That's not me in the picture, but it could be, because that's probably from the 1950s, early 1960s, when I would have been on these monkey bars. This picture is actually in my essay, so if you want to look at it closer, you can later on. But these were the monkey bars, and the wooden seesaws had rusted iron handles and bolts on the bottom. No, we were not poor. This is pretty typical of what schoolyards looked like everywhere in the 1950s and 60s. On this particular day, the seesaw had rusted through the bolt, and we saw the perfect opportunity to have some fun, or get in trouble. We dragged the heavy seesaw to the top of those monkey bars and proceeded to seesaw from up on top of the monkey bars. Once this became boring, we upped the ante and added an ornament on top. Like an angel or a devil on the treetop, I balanced up on top of the seesaw, on top of these monkey bars, precariously, and even managed some pretty stellar moves before losing my balance. Here is where I made my mistake. I put my foot down on the monkey bar, and I was trying to balance, and the seesawed back right over my foot, over the top of my foot, and it seesawed right down on top of it. To my credit, I did not fall off. However, when on the ground again, I took off my penny loafer and saw blood. It didn't hurt, but blood was one of those warning signs of impending pain, so I hopped and limped to the nurse's office. The nurse with the white uniform and cap, who doled out Band-Aids and hugs, just like on Leave It to Beaver. Meanwhile, someone alerted the teacher, and just as she walked into the office, the nurse took off my socks, toes and all. Wow, I said. Ouch! Honestly, I don't remember what I said, but I remember that the teacher fainted. It was much harder on her than it was on me. This story, of course, is just one example of how the term skyfire describes me. Blazing across the noontime playground sky and bleeding across the halls of elementary school, I was no doubt already dreaming up some new plan of daring and destruction. I have always been blessed with confidence and enthusiasm that exceeds my abilities and common sense. Long before the first grade, I was pushing my ideas into action before I and others were ready. Another more recent example of this would be me teaching this hybrid class. You might assume that a teacher piloting, hey, notice how that word fits with my skyfire description? Piloting a hybrid class would know and love technology. Note that people over 50 still consider airplanes and push-button phones technology. I, however, do not know and love technology. I consider them necessary evils, much like getting a polio shot. Did any of you ever have to get a polio shot? Do they still give them? I don't know. Or duck and cover, which is what we did in the 50s when we were preparing for a nuclear attack. I have yet to text message or even find anything that I need to text message. My work friends are here, so I see them every day. It may sound strange, but my non-work friends and I manage to live without seeing, talking, texting each other every day. Some of them I see or talk to on the weekends. Some once a month. Heck, I have best friends that I don't see for years. While I don't text message, I have figured out how to use the cell phone camera. And I have found one really good use for it. I can take pictures of my teeth to see if I have anything stuck in them. This is useful in restaurants, church, meetings, etc. when you don't have a mirror. But I digress, much as we skyfires often do. When I started this hybrid class, I thought that I could make a student homepage with all kinds of neato, whammo things about myself. But then I found that teachers can't have a homepage in WebCT. I also heard from my younger friends that students won't want to create a new homepage when they already have MySpace and Facebook. They will most likely want to link to that, so I created, I created a MySpace page. Now, I haven't looked at it since last semester, but I'm going to fire it up again for you guys. It's supposed to be really easy, but it isn't. Now, remember this when I tell you that writing these essays is just not all that hard. The thing is, hard and easy are relative terms. If you like it and do it, it's easy. If you don't like it and don't do it, it's really hard. So the point that I'm trying to make is that I am willing to try new things, including moving from the lecture-based classroom to a medium that will work for a generation of students who have spent a lifetime connected to the World Wide Web. How well will it work? I don't know, but we're going to find out. Will we have problems, or will I have problems? Of course, but we will figure them out as we go along. The good news is that there's unlikely to be any blood involved. And I might even learn to text message. So I'll be seeing you all next week. Your Skyfire friend, Sarah O'Hara. Bye now.